Hi, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Helen of Phelan Studio. Today is a rather intense, quickie, full body class that you can do either body weight or with some added ankle weights if you want a little bit more intensity, but we're working obliques and glutes, as well as triceps and upper body posture stuff worked in there as well. So it's really great if you're short on time but still want to get deep in there. And if you like this class, I would love it if you like and subscribe, as well as send this class to a friend of yours who loves a hard Pilates class. I'll see you on the mat. Good morning and welcome back to Phelan Studio. Today I have a full body quickie, so we're going to get upper body, core, and lower body in just 15 minutes. So because we're short on time, let's go ahead and get into our hands and knees position right away. Shoulders on the hands, hips on the knees. With straight arms, lift at the sternum and lower at the sternum. So I'm not bending at my elbows here. This is all coming from my upper back, my lats, my serratus. Starting to sync your breath to the movement, exhaling on the lift up so that you're also feeling that wrap and support in the abdominals. We're here for 2. And 1, really lift up tall at your chest. Feel that spread between your shoulder blades and shift your weight into your knuckles. So your chest is really weighted forward. You're gonna start to bend in the elbows, those elbows face back towards your knees. Really flare the sits bones out here and exhale, reach those arms back straight to the sky. Now you do not have to get completely down to the floor, but I do want the arms to lower evenly. So you're not lowering first with one side and then the second side eventually joining in, or vice versa. Try to keep those shoulders sliding away from your ears, and you should feel your triceps right away. If you're not, there's a chance that you're sinking back a little. So send your weight over those palms, over the fingertips and the knuckles the entire time. Inhale down, starting to feel that heat through the backs of the arms. We're here for 5. 4, keep those elbows pointing backwards rather than out to the sides. We're really externally rotated, working on opening our chest at the same time. I think we have about 2 more. Really press down through those knuckles. Can you lift through those armpits? Each time you lift up tall, really pressing the floor away from you. Come down halfway. Shift your weight forward just slightly in case you started cheating back. And now just pulse down an inch and up an inch. Small and controlled, so no bouncing. Press down, press up. Try to press through the entire palm as you lift. Squeeze your elbows towards your center midline for 5. 4, open up at the chest, hug the abdominals in. 2, and 1, press it all the way up. Keep that all fours position, but give your upper back a nice twist open with the left arm down to the floor. Twist open with the right arm down to the floor. One more time. We're going to revisit these push-ups in a little bit. So we're doing a little circuit today. We're going to do all the right side of our body and then all the left side of the body. Or I should say, all the left side first and then all the right. So you're going to come up to your high kneeling position, reach your arms out wide to the side, and tip yourself over so you're on top of that right hand. I have my arms completely pulled apart, so I'm trying to press the floor away from me as well as try to touch my fingertips to the ceiling. Hips are square and facing forward. Squeeze into your glutes. Try to pelvic thrust those hips forward so this is almost a stretch. And then you're just going to float this leg up off the ground and lower it back down. Now, I am keeping my feet really slack today because I have a foot injury. But if you want to add a little coordination, you can point your foot to lift and flex your foot to lower. Injuries on my other foot. And if you also have a foot injury, I know some of you watching on replay are rehabbing stuff as well. Just keep your foot really slack and focus on what's happening here in this outer hip. I'm lifting underneath this waistline, so this is essentially a side plank, even as I work into this outer hip. And if you feel like having your arm reaching up to the sky is too tiring, or maybe it's just not your preference, you can take it to your hip to make sure both of those hips are facing front. You can take it behind your head so you can press the head into the hand, helping to realign your cervical spine. Just try to get that leg to hip height. We're starting to feel a tiny bit of fatigue here, and we're going to keep working through that. In 3, 2, 1, lift that leg up. Now just a smaller range of motion, pressing up an inch and down an inch, pressing up an inch and down an inch. Try to keep lifting from under here. First thing we do here is start to cheat into that armpit. So really lift underneath that waistline, check in with your hips, make sure they're both facing forward without spiraling that upper body. Balance for 5. 4, we're gonna keep that leg in the air. You can always drop the ankle weight if you need to, if you've been working with that extra weight. And 1, keep that leg up. You're gonna start to bend the knee into your chest. Try to keep it at the same height. Push it away from you. Inhale, bend. Exhale, press it out. So full body exercise, but definitely an emphasis on the glute here. This left outer hip, strengthening through our pelvic floor as well. Inhale, think of this as a squat. Relax the pelvic floor, release, don't grip. And then exhale, squeeze into that outer hip. Lift your pelvic floor up and into your sternum. We're here for another 4. We're gonna keep it in the air a little bit longer. I know it's getting tired. If your neck is getting cranky, take a peek down at that bottom arm. Keep spiraling the elbow towards your knee, keeping the chest open there. We're gonna extend that leg out one more time. This time it stays up, but this is a circle. Tiny, tiny circle, starting to really feel that left hip. Remember, if you need to relax that neck, looking down at the floor helps. I also find that that pressure of head into hand really helps take it off of the neck. Try not to get into this position. Keep that head in line with your spine. So if you can check your reflection, just make sure your neck is in line. Reverse. Take the circle the other way. We don't have a lot of time to spend today, so we're making all of these movements count. I know this is a bit brutal. Exhale, up and around. Let's go 4. 3, 2, 1. Relax it all the way down. Just take that left arm up and over. Let that left foot be heavy, and let that just be a nice stretch for the left obliques, making sure you don't feel anything into your low back. And then you're gonna use your core, come all the way up. I'm gonna find my kneeling position. Ooh, kerplunk, lost my balance there. And take your right leg out to the side. So I was just working that left hip. Now I wanna go into, no, I lied. We're gonna keep the same exact leg. We're gonna go into our left obliques more. So take your hands behind your head. Keep your hips facing forward. Still squeezing at your glutes. That's gonna help you with your balance. Hands behind the head, grow 2 feet taller before dipping over to the right. Ooh, and back up. That range of motion is completely up to you. So it does not have to be massive. You could go just halfway, you could go just 3/4 of the way. Whatever makes sense for your body, but we really wanna load into these obliques as we pick ourselves back up. So this is actually like an active stretch and then contracting right back in. Thinking about that pressure of the back of the head into your hands to help both bring your mind off of how intense that's starting to feel through that left side of the body. Last 3 here, we're gonna add on 2. Last 1, hold it down. Now, I want you to take a little pulse, up an inch, down an inch. Come up a little higher if you need more support. Keep pressing the head into the hands, looking straight ahead. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it all the way tall. We're gonna do that again, back to the full range. So keep growing through the top of the head while anchoring through that right knee. Full range is probably feeling a little bit harder than it felt on that very first rep. Full range all the way down, all the way up. We're gonna head right back to the beginning. We're gonna revisit some push-ups in just a moment. We have 4 more full range, then I'm gonna give you a little twist. Make sure you're breathing. Last time, hold it open. Now you're gonna twist. Look at the floor, come center, twist, look towards the sky. Try to do that without moving your hips. Look at the floor. Look at the sky. Come on. Both hips facing front, give your bottom a squeeze. Last time down. Open. Relax it all the way down. Take a kneeling position. You can either sit on your knees or you can sit crisscross. You're gonna take that left arm, oh my goodness, up and over. Release that side body. I filmed a few classes yesterday for the platform, so I'm feeling Soar in my obliques. Take as long as you need here. Really reach that top arm up and over. Try to get the arm as close to your face so we feel that release to the upper back as well. Meanwhile, dropping that left hip to the ground in opposition. Come all the way back up. We're coming back to our hands and knees. Instead of being on all fours this time, like how we started class, I'm gonna walk my knees back so that I'm in kneeling plank. All right, so the shape wouldn't change if I extended my legs out. Now, if you prefer to be in straight leg plank, that is also a great option, depending on how you feel today, but I'm not putting pressure on my feet, and if you have a foot injury, I recommend not going up to the toes here either. So lifting up tall at your chest, and now this time we're gonna do that exact same push-up, elbows tight to your sides, but try to shave the sides of your ribs as you go down. Exhale, lift it back up. Inhale, shave it down. Exhale, lift it up. Now that you have the movement, I want you to think about going slow on the down and then try to give me a quick lift. So it doesn't have to be perfect each time, but we want to change up that dynamic here. Inhale, slow motion to lower, try to keep the elbows close to your body, and then exhale. Use your breath out to propel you upward. Let's go just a few more here. Just like before, if it feels like getting your chest all the way to the ground isn't accessible for you, you can choose a range of motion that feels good, or you can even do this up against the wall or with your hands on the edge of your couch, something like that. So you're decreasing that angle so you're able to get in that practice of getting the depth through the lower, even if it's not as close to the floor. One last time. Press it all the way up. And you guess it, you're gonna come down halfway, the worst kind of pulses. Lower down about halfway, and we press up an inch, down an inch, up an inch, down an inch. Try to squeeze your armpit shut. It's 5, 4, 3, 2. Ooh, press it all the way up. Temp those fingertips back in your child's pose for a second. Okay. Ooh, definitely feeling that. I don't know about you. You're gonna come forward through that C curve, set yourself up, back to the front. Remember to find that T with your arms to get you started, and then side bend, tip yourself over, got an eyelash in my eye, tip yourself over to that left arm. So you can start with your arms up here, or if you had a different spot that you liked to have your arm placement, go for that. We're gonna take right leg up to the sky, exhale, lift, inhale, lower, exhale, lift, inhale, lower. Remember, if you don't have a foot injury, you can play with coordination of going point to lift, flex to lower, just for a little extra foot articulation. Try to keep that bottom arm really soft. So I'm not fully bent, but I'm definitely not locked out at that elbow. Exhale, lift. Check in with your core. Sometimes it's helpful to put your hand on your low belly just to make sure that these muscles are wrapping in as this leg lifts up. Exhale as we lift. Inhale as we lower. Can you press out of the ground with that bottom arm? Don't let it sink into your shoulder. Press out of the floor. This is all active, this whole bottom side. And 2 more here. We're going to turn it into the smaller press. Up an inch. We lift. Little pulse. Up an inch and down an inch. Keep your hips facing forward. Squeeze into your bottom here. Remember, you can drop that ankle weight if it's starting to feel unmanageable. Roll those shoulders down away from your ears. Think length through your neck so that we're soft through the tops of the shoulders, not crunchy in those upper traps. Exhale, up an inch, down an inch for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep it at hip height. Bend the knee into your chest. Keep your hips square, so I'm not rotating my pelvis. Press that leg out again. Inhale, bend. Exhale, press it all the way out. Squeeze into your gluteal fold as you extend the leg out. Inhale, we bend. Exhale, we reach. Whew, I can already tell I've been 2 weeks in a walking boot, so I'm only able to step up the stairs on my left leg. Can already feel I really need to work on balancing out this right hip. Exhale as we lift or press rather. Inhale as we fold it in for 4. 3, we're gonna keep it in the air. 2, and 1, circle time, up and around. Really try to keep that leg right at hip height. I know it feels heavy. I feel mine starting to wanna droop down as well, but we're breathing, we're harnessing our core, and we reverse it other way. Final press for that leg. After this, it's abs, and you're done. Exhale, up and around, squeeze it up bottom. 4, 3, no momentum, all controlled. Last time. Woo. Use your abdominals, lift yourself back up to that kneeling or half kneeling position. And we're gonna take the hands behind the head, nice smooth transition into your big side dip and lift it up. Oh, you know what I forgot to give you? Let's give you one of these first. I know that those feel welcome. Take your right arm up and over. Take just another breath here, and then we'll get into those side sit-ups. I got excited. Okay, now let's take it up. Hands behind the head for real. Big side bend, lift it back up. Big side bend, lift it back up. Remember, you might not have the same exact range of motion on this side, that's okay. Sometimes people start to feel this travel into their low back. So I want you to be very conscious of keeping both hips facing forward if that's happening to you. That tends to happen when we start to rotate the hip in either direction because your back really wants to help take control of the pelvis. Instead, we want to think obliques taking care of the pelvis, helping to keep my hips facing forward, which should free up the back so that we can strengthen our side waist. Now we're going to come down, it's pulse time. Come down to a spot you can sustain, pulse up an inch, down an inch. Feel that connection right into that right waistline. Put your finger there if you need to. Make sure you feel that side body for 4, 3, 2, 1. Smooth transition back into full range. Inhale down, exhale as we lift. Press your head into your hand. Sometimes we don't even realize we're starting to go into that forward head posture. So if this is the only 15 minutes of the day that you're really, really aware of where your neck is in space, I want you to think about getting the most out of it, pressing your head into your hand, so that hopefully for the rest of the day, that's something that you can be conscious of. And we'll go 2. We're gonna start to twist it out. And 1, hold it. Rotate, face the floor. Look at your mat. Rotate forward and up. Hips don't change. I know it's tempting to tip the hip as you rotate the ribs and the elbows, but try to isolate that rotation to the upper body. Try to anchor that right hip down to the ground. Just 2 more sets here. Maybe you get a little deeper. Last one. Woo. Bring it all the way up, and then you can carefully bring it down to your knees. Maybe you want to sit crisscross instead. Left hand drops to the floor. Just make sure your right butt cheek is dropping to the ground. Ooh, and we reach that right arm up and over. Glue the right bicep to the right ear. Try to reach the arm out a little further, like someone's gently pulling on your wrist. Maybe drop down onto that left elbow. Ooh, that's when I start to feel low back start to release. Take your time in that release. Take your time in that stretch. Carefully bring it all the way back up. And that's it for today. Really quick, we got upper body, we got lower body, we got integrating all those things together. Hope you're feeling strong. It's a great class to do when you just don't have a lot of time or energy, or as a warm-up if you're heading into another class, if you're feeling really like you want to go for it today. But I will hopefully see you next week. Oh, actually I lied, not next week, because the holiday challenge starts on Friday, so you're gonna be getting individual classes every single day, and there's no live classes. But you'll hear all about that in the email that I'm sending out, or I sent out today, and I will see you soon.